Well, hey, wondering what to do with your kids this summer? Well, Jerry Reid from Riverway Ranch Camp is here, and
It's a pleasure.
yeah, it's. No, let me confess. My kids have gone to this camp. Okay, let's get rid of the the disclosure part of this, and only because I've had kids involved in this camp for maybe close to 20 years, and it's a phenomenal experience. And Riverway Ranch Camp is in Sanger, which is outside of Fresno.
Yep.
Right.
Good old California.
Yeah. Now, why is it relevant to have your kid experience camp in the year 2014? I mean, it was everybody went to camp when I was a kid.
Sure.
Then it seemed like it went through a period of time where parents weren't sending their kids, and now they're back doing it again. Why?
A variety of reasons. I mean, sending your kid to camp allows them to grow away from their parents, and that's the most difficult thing that parents have. I mean, every day is a conversation about my 10-year-old or my 12-year-old isn't ready for camp, and in fact they are. It's mostly the parents that aren't ready to let them go, and it really helps the child identify who they are. There's great camp counselors out in this world that are giving of themselves and teach them life experiences, and it's just it's a phenomenal way to get your child ready for life. And a lot of parents miss the fact that at some point in time they're going to leave their house, and when they do, they need to be ready, and you don't want that experience to be right when they go to college, and getting them ready for having a fun summertime experience and getting outside and disconnecting life and not having their device with them all the time. So
yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that your camp really promotes is not having your cell phone, not having your computer, not being able to call and communicate back and forth daily with their family and friends back home, right?
Correct. And in fact, I mean, it's pretty much a standard for all camps really in the nation that today we're too connected almost. Everyone's got a smartphone or a laptop or an iPad or some kind of device that doesn't allow them to use their own creativity, and that's really kind of the going back to the grassroots of growing up, and we didn't have these things, and we had to be creative, and we had to figure out ways to entertain ourselves, and that's the beauty of camp.
So how is camp different today than it was when you and I went?
Well, I mean, first technology has advanced, and so you have to keep up with keeping information relevant and addressing those concerns by parents that are used to talking to their kids every day, and so those are the
these are the buses pulling up. Like, you have essentially, like, what I do when I send my kids to camp is we drive to L.A. and then they catch a bus in L.A. and I guess you got a bus out of San Francisco doing the same thing, and the buses come into the camp, and I mean, you're very structured there, and part of it is really screening the counselors and really preparing the parents and the families for the experience.
Correct. I mean, the most important thing is the camp counselor, and that's where we put all of our time and effort. Every camp counselor that is hired by us has a face-to-face interview with a owner or director of camp, and that's the most important thing. In fact, our camp in California is one of the only camps that require the in-state applicants to actually come to our camp facility for a 2-day hiring workshop, where we just kind of hang out and we play and we get to know them one-on-one, because on a phone or through a Skype interview, people can fake it, but you can't fake the interaction one-on-one.
And you also have counselors from outside the United States.
We do. We have, in fact, I was just in the United Kingdom in January, hired 16 amazing staff, and simultaneously when I came back, our director, Haley, and our enrollment director flew to Australia and hired 16 or 17 Australian staff. It's a cultural experience, getting to share things about their country and with the kids, and it really creates a unique culture in camp.
What are you looking for when you hire a counselor?
That's a great question. I mean, obviously there's certain areas that you have to have skill. I mean, we can't put anyone behind a boat. Can't have anyone behind a camera, doing film. So there has to be some kind of technical skill for those areas. But it really comes down to being a genuine person who really wants to be a role model for these kids today, and that's it. I mean, personality, and I would say a genuine heart for kids.
But you also put them through a strict a training routine.
We do.
I mean, they have to know CPR. You give classes on what to do if the kid is homesick, right?
That's right. Yeah, we our camp counselors spend, and our leadership team spend almost 3 weeks before the summer even starts, preparing and getting ready for the summer. We have specialty areas that, you know, we also train our lifeguards on site. Like you said, we do CPR and first aid training, and we do a lot of role plays. You know, what does that kid look like when he gets off the bus? Are they scared? Are they happy?
They're all nervous? Scared. Isn't everybody nervous and scared when they get off the bus?
No, I mean, see, that's where that's where the one thing that parents always ask, and we say the camp experience really starts on the bus. Just singing camp songs, having fun. Sure, there's some nerves when the child gets on the bus for the very first time. Even kids who have been with us 2 or 3 years, sometimes it's that I sat next to this person last year and that person's on this bus. But it's how you engage the kids right off the bat, and our staff is incredible about that interaction.
So we're showing some of the activities now. What are some of the most popular activities that you have at the camp?
Kind of.
We have obviously this is jumping, right? Equestrian.
Yeah,
jumping.
Equestrian's a big aspect. We do trail rides. We have both Western and English riding. We have a great array of water sports. We have an incredible water sports program. We do wakeboarding, water skiing. We have wave runners. If you can imagine it, Ed, we have it. There's our houseboat. We just built that houseboat a couple years ago. The lake program, obviously, kids love getting on that lake. You got 2 water slides off the back of that thing, it's an incredible experience. Being out there, especially at evening time, you can see right here where our staff is instruction, making sure the life jackets are on.
Yeah, our camera crew is looking at it. They're ready to dirt the walls, right? You guys got to stay home. But you also have, climbing events that are, intended, I guess, to develop the confidence in the kids. And
absolutely, we have they call it a ropes course. We have a 40-foot climbing wall. We have a zip line,
right.
And our staff just coaches the kids right through it. I mean, they're 25 feet up on a belay device, going across what they call the catwalk. It's a small little beam, and overcoming that initial apprehension is what life is about. It's being coached through that and having good role models and a support team to do it.
My kids always came back talking about how great the food was.
We do have a great buffet. We have a chef that's been with us for 35 years, so we are fortunate to have a year-round facility is really what we have at our place, which is unique. Most camps will close post-summer. Where ours remains open. We go into a resort season.
What should parents look for in trying to choose a camp? Is there an accreditation or something with camps?
Yeah, very important. I always say to parents who are looking, you want to make sure the camp is accredited. The American Camp Association, ACA, in fact, we have our accreditations every 3 years. We had our last one in 2011. This year will be 2014. And there's standards. There's points of health and safety. There's points of training, recruitment, hiring practices. Safety is a big one. Aquatics is another big one. And there's about 300 standards that you have to adhere to. And there's an accreditation team. So it's a team from ACA that comes out and evaluates the way that you run your facility.
Camp's been around for a long time, hasn't it? Your camp, yeah.
Our camp's been around for 48 years. The camping industry has been around for 150 or so years. It's kind of, I always say it's the East Coast gift to the world. That's where kind of camping really originated. Kids still today on the East Coast go for 6 or 8 weeks, and you talk to a parent here in California and you say, they go to camp for 6 weeks and they, they hold their breath.
This sounds to me like it's more about training the parents than it is the kids.
Well, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, and you have overnight excursions.
We do. Right? Yeah, we go up to the Sequoia. So little known fact that we have the Kings Canyon Sequoia National Park, 35 minutes down the road from us. We do an overnight trip there, and we also do a 3-day, 2-night trip to Yosemite, which is about an hour and a half from us.
What is the appropriate age to start sending your child to camp?
You know, that is probably the #1 question that we always get asked. And my guidance to the parent is, if you're not sure, then they're ready. You know,
if you're not sure,
if the parent's not sure,
then the kid's ready.
Then the kid's ready. You know, there's no, you know, equation to say that they're, you know, at 8 they're ready, at 10 they're ready, at 12 they're ready. I think the earlier that you can get them started, the better. We have, you know, camps in California, camps on the West Coast that do a week. It's a great way to do an introduction. Day camps are a good way in your local community to get started. Again, make sure they're accredited is very important. A lot of day camps are not accredited, which is an interesting fact. You'll find most residential camps have the accreditation where most day camps do not. So,
and your program starts at 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yeah, we start at 7, and we actually have 2 1-weeks available, and then we of course do 2 and 4 week blocks.
Oh, okay. And you do a lot of things outside of the summertime, you know, activities and marathons and things like that in the camp?
We do. Camp is a year-round endeavor, really. We have a couple different partnerships that we do. We have a triathlon series that we're a part of, raising awareness for pediatric cancer research, which is really important for us as a community. Sadly, there were several kids that lost their battle with cancer early in my career in being at Riverway, and so the staff got together and said, you know, let's do a triathlon. I was like, hey, wait a second. We have a whole summer, you know, that we work hard and we, you know, mentor these kids, but the staff, you know, gets up a little bit earlier and stays up a little bit later and finds a passion to, at the end of the summertime in September, we do the...
And I also noticed that your camp has activities throughout the year where the whole family, the parents and the kids, can also participate in a camp experience outside of the weeks in the summer, correct?
Correct, yeah. We have a family camp that we run at the very end, and then we do 2-day, 3-day things periodically throughout, you know, holiday events and those kind of things that brings the community together. So
that's terrific. So if you need more information, this is riverwayranchcamp.com, is that it?
Yep, .com.
riverwayranchcamp.com. And they're happy to give you information. There's a lot of kids from Las Vegas that go there.
Yeah, in fact, we were just at a camp fair on Saturday, and we did a reunion just down the street on Sunday.
Okay, hey, so it's, have any questions, you can contact Jerry Reid at the Riverway Ranch Camp,
riverwayranchcamp.com.
Okay, hey, it's a great experience to have your kids grow, get a little independence, a little confidence. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Ed.